Welcome to WKRP Montrose, a radio station masquerading as a podcast about Montrose, Colorado and the Western Slope, recording live from the Clear Network studio in downtown Montrose, Colorado. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WKRP. We are live in the new studio, and as you can tell, Rob is already not center framed. I'm not sure why you decide to just do your own thing. One of these kids is doing his own thing all the time. Can you move to your left? I have your mic turned off for a reason. There it is. It's back on. Are you happy now?
This is a shambles already.
No, it's not. It's good. We're finally in the new studio in the visitor center in Montrose, so you can come down and complain to Rob directly when this doesn't go the way that he wants it to go.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's really easy. They'll let you in the front door, and you can just walk right in and come to the studio.
I really don't want to see anybody.
I think you should. It's his seat is right next to the door. It's like no problem to find him.
I'll call the police. I'm not kidding.
You're not going to do that.
Okay, and can I just, because Dennis has been harassing me to pay for the cheap stuff he bought from Marshalls for the podcast.
Hey, you're welcome, Marshalls. Local, buy local. Go to all your stores. Tis the season,
Marshalls
right?
Marshalls is not local. It's a big national chain.
Where is it located?
Relax.
It's located in Montrose, Colorado. So is well, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to give that to the time. First thing I'm going to do is thank you to our sponsors. We couldn't do this without you.
That's true.
You notice we're in the Clear Network studio here in Montrose, Colorado, the best internet in the world. Clear Networks in the world.
I mean, it's not untrue. It's just we're so shameless. It's ridiculous.
You're going to drive me nuts. Can you please center yourself in frame on your shot?
Like move over. Then.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's ridiculous.
Listen, you were told to buy new things over Christmas. You decided not to. You're going to have to deal with it. I'm excited for our guest today. Number one, because the organization that she works for, but number two, because the organization that she graduated from. I am a huge fan of. So we're going to go back to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you want to talk about the O. We'll get to that too.
We found some fun stuff on the website.
All right. So
we need to explain to our dumb, I was going to say the swear word, but
I would like to introduce you, the viewing public, to Brooke Nosovitsky. Did I get that correct? Please tell me I did. He's going to kill me if I didn't. He's going to. Well, first I've got to turn your mic on. Nosovitsky. Okay. So I did get it right. Well, Brooke, thank you very much for being on the show. Go ahead. What are you going to say, Rob?
No, you practiced.
I did practice.
Okay.
So, Brooke, you're part of the Montrose Dermatology.
I am. Yeah.
Large facility right across from the city market there, where you can't miss it. Right? Mm-hmm. You graduated from FSU, my favorite school. Go Seminoles.
That's right.
Yeah. Got your master's at Southern Illinois. You graduated the youngest in your class. Is that correct?
I think I was the youngest, but within the youngest three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. And then of all the choices of all the places in the world that you could have gone, you went to Chattanooga for a little while. Mm-hmm. Another favorite of mine.
Sure.
Chattanooga's great.
It is beautiful.
It's not Montrose.
No.
But it is cool.
Yeah.
And then you came here. What brought you to Montrose, Colorado?
So straight out of school, out of my medical program, went straight into plastics and did some burn surgery, and then switched over to reconstructive plastics with a little bit of derm. I never really had the continuity with the patients that I saw for spot checks or rashes or anything that was coming in for another reason, if that makes sense. So kind of an incidental finding. So I always wanted to switch over to derm 100%, and I really liked change. I wasn't scared to move across the country and from a little town in Illinois. So it feels really good to be back in a city of the same size that I grew up in. It feels like community and home.
Which was in Kentucky?
Right? Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. I thought it was.
How do you make that mistake?
Because it says in her bio that she grew up on a small farm just on the border of Kentucky. Is that not right?
It is the border of Kentucky in Illinois.
Not in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got something wrong.
Close enough.
Rob.
Don't let him off the hook, Brooke. So when was this? When did you... When was this? When did you actually move to Montrose?
Sure. About 1.5 years now we moved here. Yeah. It was,
so not long.
No. And it was 6 weeks, heard from a recruiter, talked with Larry, our manager over at the office. And, he said, how soon can you be here? And I said, if the house sells, 6 weeks after that, and we put it up and it was gone in a day and we moved out here 6 weeks later. Didn't look back. It's been great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you
visit first?
Yeah, that's what
we did. We came out for a site visit, looked at some houses, tried to get a lay of the land. And then it was a quick weekend. Everybody was wonderful. We were excited to come back. It was great. Yeah.
So you specialize in plastic surgery?
I did.
You did. Okay. Yeah. Now you're moved over to, you said the derm.
Yep.
We're just shortening words now. So like the gram, the derm.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I'm old. I got a lot of gray in my beard. I have to try to keep up with things. Mm-hmm. Can you fix this?
Whatever.
Over here? Is there anything that you can do for this?
There's nothing to fix. There's perfection in this room. Everybody.
End of the episode, people. Let's wrap it up there. That's going to be the reel that goes viral. I'm going to put a lot of money behind that reel.
That is, I guarantee you, people, that is a clip that you're never going to not see because he's going to put that in regular rotation.
And Brooke was not prompted or paid to say that.
I don't believe that at all. You guys had a meeting somewhere out there in the main spot before you came in.
Brooke had to make a choice. She was going to be on one of our sides. Yeah. You're the bully, and she chose to go not with the bully. So I feel
like I might have to get MJ in here to clarify whether or not that's true.
We'll see.
You guys can't see, but there's somebody else in the studio that does not want to be on camera, and I'm not allowed to pressure her to be on camera. But
bully.
She is over there in the corner laughing at this. So,
okay. So,
all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about dermatology, right?
Sure.
It's I was going to say is it important? I mean, obviously, I guess from your perspective it is, but why do we have that big facility here? What kind of, not only what do you offer, but what do people need?
Sure. So for a rural community here, I consider Montrose as kind of the hub. We have a lot of patients that come over from Gunnison, that come from Uray, and it's a casual drive for them because this is where their care is at. So especially in this area with us, regardless, being closer to the sun, there's a lot of need for skin checks, for, just people coming in with those needs that they can't get without going to Grand Junction, without going to Durango, just further away. So we have 5 providers over there now that take care of a lot of the community, and not only ours locally, but regionally. So it's a big need.
I mean, I know Rob isn't privy to this information, but we do have a predominantly older demographic here in Montrose still, and skin cancer is a real issue, particularly because we have 300 sunny days a year.
Allegedly.
Yeah. What do you mean allegedly?
It's one of those Colorado myths.
You feel like that's of all the conspiracy theories, that's the one you're going to go with?
People peddle that myth all the time.
Yeah, you don't think there's 300 days of sun?
I don't know. Who's counting?
Well, somebody is. That's how come there's a number.
But is it a real issue in places like Colorado? I mean,
Absolutely.
Instances of skin cancer?
Our proximity to the sun makes the air thinner, so we get more exposure here at higher sea level, or not sea level, higher elevation,
right?
And it makes a big difference.
So is it something that we should be thinking about on a daily basis?
Absolutely.
Like putting something on, because I know that for women, makeup, right, can come with some protection factor.
Sure.
Would it be your advice then for everyone, men, to literally put something on every day or most days to protect yourself from the sun? Because it's not something that most men are going to do, right? But it is something that perhaps we should consider.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Well, question, because I get hounded all the time. I shouldn't say hounded. I get protected by my wife all the time, asking me to make sure that I put sunscreen on. She's really specific about the back of my neck, my ears, and things like that.
Absolutely.
Especially I play a lot of golf and I'm outside a lot. Are there areas that you need to be more concerned about because they're more exposed, or they're more likely to see melanomas come up?
I would say that there, if you are already cognizant of your exposure and you do put on sunscreen, there are the areas that are easily forgotten, like the back of the neck, tops of the ears. A lot of people wear ball caps and think that that's protecting them all over, but
it's not.
The neck, the ears, a lot. We see a lot of exposure that's forgotten. Same thing with women and hairlines. If they don't tend to switch up their hairline, that one part where it goes down in the scalp gets a lot of sun, and we see a lot of precancerous spots pop up there, cancerous spots. So hands are another big one. A lot of people will get the UV shirts, which are great, but then forget their hands are exposed and may not put the sunscreen there. Another really common place for skin cancer.
It's kind of terrifying. Yeah. Honestly. What? I mean, cancer is a scary word. Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just scary to hear that if, we're not doing things every day that we should be doing.
Yeah, but to some extent, like, I don't know. I'm kind of a roll the dice type of guy. Sure. Like something's gonna get me eventually.
Yeah, but what kind of attitude is that?
I don't know. I just told you I'm like a roll the dice type of guy.
But you don't have to roll the dice on this. Is the point? Right? Okay, you can lower the odds by putting on. I don't know, something probably that's in this bag.
Should we bring out what's in the bag?
By the way, this is our favorite guests right now.
Why is that? Because they're trying to protect us from cancer?
Well, no, because they just give us stuff. Anyone who really wants to curry favor with us, just bring us stuff. We're shameless.
Okay, well, this brings up a good question, and then I want to get on to some of the other treatments that you have at Montrose Dermatology. But I'm gonna show this here real quick. Do you want to tell them about this product?
Yeah, so it's Ulta MD is the type of sunscreen or the brand that we carry in office. They have a really great line. Okay, so there are some that are specific for acne-prone skin. There are some that have mineral and chemical sunscreens. It just depends on what you're looking for, what your activity level is. We have a lot of folks that maybe go fishing or are very active in sports, and they can't seem to keep the sunscreen on. So Ulta MD has types that really stick on the skin and do a good job and are proven to do a good job. So it's a great brand.
So you're a fisherman. You like to fish.
I do like to fish.
And so is this
fish a woman?
Okay. All right. Whatever.
So insensitive. Come on.
Can I get to the question?
Carry on.
All right. What's the SPF level, or what is something like if I'm going to be around water a lot and possibly in and out of water? What is something is this good for something like that, or do I need
30 is usually what we recommend. You don't have to focus on, we've got some people that come in and are like, I would try to find 100% or something like that. Just make sure that you are reapplying if you're noticing that you might be active and doing things where it may come off. It also, you're shedding skin all the time. So reapplying is always necessary. And then making sure that you've got something. Okay, so starting somewhere, 30 and up is great.
So can I ask then, obviously you said that product is particularly good for its ability to stay on the skin and stuff. I guess it's a kind of an obvious question really, but something is better than nothing. So but are there products out there that claim to block the sun that don't do a good job? Or, if you get something from Walgreens, is it going to do the job it says, or are there products out there that are just really not doing what they're supposed to do?
Most of the products that are on the market have passed, FDA clearance, things like that. So they're all great to start somewhere and figuring out what works best for you and doesn't irritate your skin. I usually tell folks, I have a lot of patients with sensitive skin, of course, and recommending mineral-based sunscreens is great for them. I usually say, look for the baby products because on FDA labeled sunscreens, children under a certain age can't have the chemical sunscreen. So it's an easy kind of workaround to find a product that might be more gentle for their skin, but still do a really good job.
Is there any truth to, since we have a lot of skiers out here, is there any truth to like magnification of UV coming off the snow? Is that anything that you have to worry about? Or?
The same thing with water. Yes, it's a reflection almost where you
get that
exposure,
twice?
Kind of.
Okay. So I've got a quick question for you before I go into some of the other things that we have here. What's something that you would, that you think that people don't expect that you would offer at a dermatology clinic?
I don't
that you guys offer?
Things. We have a lot of, I think it's endless possibilities really at our office, especially because we're not only dermatology, we're cosmetics as well. There's a lot of anti-aging aspects of our practice.
Oh, that's
and
Dennis.
Base.
We should talk more about that.
About anti-aging? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because, as we get older, especially with the exposure to the sun and, free radicals in the air, pollution, all of the above, smoke that comes in sometimes during the summer months, we're exposed to these things that damage our skin either way. It might not be something that puts us at risk for cancer, but it may put us at risk for that early aging that you don't want to see. So,
right.
No, I'm okay with I'm okay with looking old.
I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
Because that's,
No.
I don't think there's no chance of me like getting around that. I don't think so. I'm okay with it. But is one of those services like the microneedling? Would that be an example of, and what is that exactly? I mean,
Sure.
It sounds like acupuncture to your face.
So we do two types of microneedling.
Okay.
One has radio frequency along with it, which is almost like a heat underneath the skin that's delivered to also tighten the skin.
Okay.
And then there's standard microneedling, which is almost like a tattoo gun with a lot of needles. It sounds kind of like that. It induces collagen by creating small micro trauma to the surface of the skin. So at different depths for different areas of the face or body or wherever you're doing it, over scars, a lot of different applications for it. But
what does that do for a scar, like a scar tissue area?
So it can kind of remodel the scar tissue. So if there's a scar that may be a little more raised than you would like it to be, after treating it with microneedling, it can become more flat, less bothersome or irritating, because there's also nerves within that thick tissue that are uncomfortable. So it does a lot. It's good stuff.
Is it? I do know that people have had serious injuries and big scars. That the area where the scar is can be painful for them. So is it a possibility to relieve some of that pain through that?
It can, yes.
Okay.
I actually, when we talk about scar pain and innervation to the skin, so those active nerves that have maybe been damaged with whatever procedure they had done, I like a really deep massage too, can kind of help with that sensation. So there's different things that you can do to approach that. But yeah.
So I'm going to tread carefully with this next question. Would Montrose Dermatology it wouldn't be considered a med spa?
No.
Would it? Okay. So
I would say there's a med spa aspect to it.
Okay.
But it's we don't do cosmetic facials that are like extractions. I mean, we do if there's something that comes in that an extraction would be applicable for, but it's not like a hydrating facial that you would get at a standard med spa if you think about it. We are very, I would say, medically driven, and we, I would say, strive for more of the heavy duty treatments that med spas may also have, but we have a lot of great options.
Okay.
So can people, do you accept insurance?
We do.
People come through and, use their insurance to get various treatments?
So most of the treatments that insurance accepts are medical-based dermatology procedures, not necessarily the ones that we do upstairs with our esthetician. But there are occasionally procedures that we do on the medical side that are kind of crossover to cosmetic.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are things that can be treated with cosmetic procedures, or traditionally cosmetic procedures that can be considered insurance covered. But it's hard to get them covered. So it warrants a conversation if that's something someone was interested in. Yeah.
So I have another question that might get me in trouble.
Is this the question?
No, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Do you want to let me ask it?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So I have a daughter. She's 20.
Sure.
I've noticed in the cosmetic industry that the target age is getting lower and lower.
Sure.
We're making it. We're taking dress up to a whole nother level at this day and age. And so I'm concerned with what my daughter sees online as an expectation of what she should do. Does that come into play at all when somebody comes into a clinic at a certain age that you're trying to maybe talk them out of it, or,
especially on the more cosmetic side, I guess.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Do you guys run into that at all? I mean, it seems like it's a national conversation too, where people are concerned about what kids are medically allowed to do these days. And so it's just something as a father that I get concerned about, looking at my daughter and what she looks at. Not that she's expressed an interest to do any of those things just yet, but it's something that she is exposed to all the time.
Sure.
That almost feels like an expectation that she should be doing it.
Yeah, I think we do a really good job at this practice of identifying what is best to enhance certain aspects of the face or the body or any area that we're treating, and to direct the patient in a way that makes them feel good and not pressured into what they see online. Because again, I frequently remind people we're not Los Angeles or an area that is more heavily influenced in their everyday life to look at the bigger lips or the bigger cheeks or pointed chins, really striking jawlines. You know, it's more of reassurance and guidance in a balancing way, rather than younger patients coming in and saying, I just want the lips. It really, we don't do just say, check it off the box as I want my lips treated today. It's a consultation that we have that allows them to see, you know, what we can improve and what may not need to be improved because of the natural anatomy that may support or may not support that.
Yeah. Do you feel, guidance. I mean, do you feel like you have a responsibility?
Absolutely.
Because it's you know, it would be easy, I guess, to just say yes. You know, if it's, you know, because it's a business, obviously, but I guess there is pressure on you to do, you know, to do the right thing ethically. Absolutely. And other places, obviously, there are plenty of places that don't worry too much about that.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's an important topic for young people, especially.
Well, I didn't want to bring the tone of the show down. It's something as a dad that I get, you know, concerned about. All right. So having come from some more urban places or less suburban or rural than Montrose
he
is.
Doesn't know what those words mean.
I was reading them off the screen. Okay. What's something that you expected in Montrose and is not in Montrose? And what's something that you didn't expect in Montrose that is in Montrose? Or
you've been here.
Give me an example.
Well, you've been here a year and a half. So I constantly go back to, we're lacking a wider variety of restaurants and things to do, you know, outside of work. I love Montrose too, but you know, that's not to say the place is not perfect. So what's missing? What would you like to see here that you think would be beneficial for the town, but also for you?
Yeah, I would say, you know, the thing my husband and I frequently say to each other is we miss the food, the restaurant scene in Chattanooga. There were a lot of really innovative spots, and you know, Montrose definitely has that pop up. And I like that it's growing in the way that you do get some of those new things. But I think that would be the biggest one.
Yeah, we haven't really graduated to like fusion stages yet, where people are experimenting with food.
Right.
We're not even like totally dialed in with the different.
No, we'll get there. Yeah. We have some new places opening.
Absolutely.
They're coming.
All right. It'll be a little while. I mean, we'll never get to that level, the city level, but that's kind of a trade-off, right? Yeah. So, but then I guess conversely, you know, what do you really enjoy about living here?
So, you know, growing up on a farm, I never wore shoes, you know, so it's feeling like I'm almost back to my roots in a way that there's so much to do outdoors that it almost feels like vacation whenever we do have people come here. I always want people to come here because it's not just we sit on the couch and we figure out, you know, what's going on. My husband's family is in Dallas. So it's like, what's going on? Are we going to a tennis tournament, or are we going to the Arboretum or something that's organized? This is just, you have the entire outdoor endless opportunities around you to explore. And especially being in Montrose, we've got, you know, the San Juan south of us, and then we've got Grand Mesa, and it's every direction, Gunnison, every direction, Moab, something within 3 hours that is just something new to explore. So it's been amazing.
I feel this every time I drive south, you know, down towards
the mountains.
Well, towards Walmart or somewhere, but the view of the mountains it never gets old. It's incredible. I do occasionally take it for granted, and then I'll send a picture to somebody back home, and they are
blown away
by how beautiful this place is. So we're very lucky.
That's great.
We're definitely lucky. I still think that there's like one of the challenges, if I had a challenge for all the people that are out there, and some of it's starting to happen, is that, you know, the outdoor activities are endless. Yeah. But then, especially this time of season when the sun goes down early, like what is there to do after the sun goes down? And we just got a new escape room, which we're gonna feature on the show here coming up soon. Excited to check that out. But to your point, you were talking about your husband being from the Dallas area. It seems like there's no end of things to go do in the evenings in Dallas, mostly because they don't have the outside, things that we have.
Is he a Dallas Cowboys fan?
He is absolutely not.
Oh. Yeah.
Who's his team?
Seahawks, actually.
Ooh, okay.
He grew up in Seattle.
I can't hate on that.
Dennis is
I'm a Steelers fan. Okay, this is complete. I'm gonna take the show off the rails.
Sorry, that's my fault.
See if you can answer this. Our star player just got dry needling done and got his he punctured his lung. Oh, why would somebody get dry needling? I mean, I understand it's like a it doesn't seem like that would happen at a pro.
How can you puncture a lung?
It was not punctured, collapsed lung. He suffered a collapsed lung.
Oh, that's much better.
Basically.
Well, but I'm just saying. So, is that you guys don't have? What is dry needling?
Dry needling, not even within our realm. Dry needling is usually like physical therapists do some dry needling. I just had hip surgery, 10 weeks ago or so. And I had my physical therapist do some dry needling within the past month or two. So usually when you have a muscle that's inflamed or aggravated in some way, shape, or form, that needling is supposed to relieve that in some way that I am not privy to, because again, not my field. But
okay, all right.
But it's deep. If you've ever seen them do it, I mean,
so the penetration of the needle is actually deep into the tissue,
the muscle.
Okay.
Yes. And I've had them connect it to that electrostimulation as well. So theoretically, if they were aiming for the intercostal muscle, it's a very small area between that and interrupting the pleural space, that lung area.
Well, somehow it happened, and we lost our star player for.
So, but are you a Seahawks fan by default, or do you have your own team?
Bears.
All right.
Oh,
which is a good year this year.
It is
compared to the FSU.
Yeah,
and I mean by default, I'm a Denver Broncos fan. So
you're not a Denver.
You can all suck it.
You're not he's not a Broncos fan, people. I don't
really know. I don't understand the sport, to be perfectly honest.
Exactly. This is somebody that sits there and if you call him a fan, that would mean that he would actually know a player on the team or have somebody that he's inspired by or likes the history of the team.
I know one player.
He spends the entire game asking. He's like one of those people. It's like, so what do they do now? Why did they do that? What is going on here?
What's wrong with
How long does 6 minutes actually last on a game?
True.
He just
ridiculous.
It's never ending. Don't call yourself a fan. I'm not letting you get away with that. All right,
move on.
Well, what's next for Montrose Dermatology? What's coming down the road that people aren't seeing or we're not talking about?
No, there's always new things. I think we do a great job at staying on top of trainings and making sure, that the medical field, regardless of what specialty you're in, is always changing. And some providers kind of stay with what they were taught and what they learn, and then for the rest of their career do the similar type of things. I think that our office does a really great job at initiating new trainings for whatever we're doing, whether it's injectables or a certain treatment of a lesion of some sort. There's just always new things coming up at Montrose.
I wanted to go back a second when I asked about insurance.
Sure.
If people don't have insurance, I mean, they can still come in, obviously.
Absolutely.
But what does that look like for people? Because obviously, if you don't have insurance, you tend to put things off, perhaps, and screenings and consultations are things that maybe you shouldn't put off.
Sure.
What does it look like for people who don't have insurance?
Yeah, so
to come in at least and have a consultation of some
Absolutely. We do have there's different options. When you call the office, if you want one spot looked at, they could get you a general pricing right off the bat on the phone of if they have one spot they want to be looked at, want to have looked at. And then if that were to become a biopsy, we have a standardized fee schedule that we can give somebody an idea before they come into the office or or maybe feel obligated
Right.
to pay for something that they're not expecting. You know, we're very upfront and open with what our coverage looks like for self-pay patients, which is helpful.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's obviously something that, you know, may put people off, like you said, but it's important.
Absolutely.
When was the last time you went to a dermatologist?
To a dermatologist?
To go and get a checkup or a consultation or whatever?
I haven't.
Why not?
I don't think ever.
That's shameful.
It could be, sure.
Well, there you go. Now you got to make.
But I haven't had any reason for concern.
It's preventative. You got to go and get stuff checked out. You don't know. You've got to. You might have a spot on that big dome of yours that needs to be checked out.
There's probably several. I don't know.
There you go.
Because I don't have any hair up there.
That's true.
That's all right. He just wants to pick on me, so I'm gonna change the subject real quick. Let's talk about the big O in the room, Ozempic.
Oh, sure.
You thought I was going somewhere else, didn't you?
We are going.
So did he. So did he.
We are.
He thought I was too.
We are going there in a minute. That's not related to dermatology.
Do you guys offer through the clinic at all Ozempic? I thought I saw something on
We
there.
don't
Maybe
do
no. Okay,
GLP-1s.
you don't do
We do not.
GLP ones. All right.
What we do, I will say, is that we have a lot of patients that are on those medications that have a lot of volume loss or laxity, where they have lost that volume mass. And so we do a lot of cosmetic procedures to kind of improve those areas for those patients.
Is that a problem then when you have that volume loss and it happens so quickly? Can those conditions can you mitigate against them by actually losing weight slower? Or is it kind of once the skin is kind of stretched out to a certain point, it's kind of always going to?
I'd say somewhat.
Yeah.
And everybody's different. Everybody has different elasticity factors to their skin.
Right.
So, it is one of those things that regardless, I've had patients that say I've lost this over the past 3 or 4 years and it's been, 50 pounds and they still have that loss in their facial fat pads that they want improved. So, different people.
Right.
Different concerns.
Is that more of an age thing too? Like the elasticity of your skin
Absolutely can be a contributing factor.
doesn't do as well as you get older, type of thing. So if you lose weight at an older age, I could see how that might be an issue. I don't think I've ever heard anybody on the show say fat pads until just now. So that's a new one. That's gonna get captured. We're gonna repeat that.
Dennis,
you got great fat pads, is what I can see.
That's
up in the upper. in the upper area of your.
Can I refer you back to earlier in the episode?
Yeah,
I was told that I didn't need anything done at all.
Well, no, yeah, because you got great fat pads.
Carry on.
Your fat pads are proficient.
I've told you, leave the jokes to me.
Okay.
So we do want to talk about.
You want to talk about. This was not in. I can show you. It's not on my list.
Sure.
But go ahead.
I don't know. You say it. You're the one who's reading.
It's called the O-Shot.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we have to talk about it because it's. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, if you could not look at me when you're talking about this, just look at him and answer the question. That'd be fantastic.
It is a very real concern, especially as women, as we get older, we lose the amount of hormones that we had when we were younger. Now, there's a lot of great things out there these days, medical advancements that allow for us to kind of mitigate that loss over time. But with, comfort, sexually, non-sexual,
Well, we can use the word, right? Menopause, perimenopause, people that are going through that, hormone changes.
Yep.
It factors in so many different ways.
Sure.
Both emotionally as well as physically as well. So, all right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you at all. I just want to
Well, can you explain what it is?
Absolutely.
But bear in mind, I'm fully aware that you're professional and we are very childish.
Very childish.
But
large adult child.
You offer it because it is something that people need
Absolutely.
or people want from time to time. But yeah,
yes.
Can you explain what it is in whatever terms you like?
It is called platelet-rich plasma is what we inject. That is what is injected as the O-Shot, okay? The platelet-rich plasma is something that's drawn specifically from your own body. We take a couple tubes of blood, spin it into a centrifuge, and come out with this golden liquid that we call liquid gold. It has stem cells, growth factors, different aspects to it that when re-injected, it almost causes a healing cascade within the body itself, regardless of where you place it. So we do it for hair loss. Yeah. We also do it underneath the eyes where you may have some thinning of the skin. So different areas with the O-Shot specifically, it could be for laxity, it could be for dryness, for lack of sensation, a lot of different causes, incontinence. So a lot of different aspects that we can treat with it depending on where we place it. Okay. It's actually remarkably more comfortable than you would expect it to be, I would feel comfortable saying. Okay. So it's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
They have a solution for your incontinence. I mean, that's something that was definitely needed, I think, for you.
Grow up, Dennis.
You just said we didn't have to. You said we were large children. I agreed. That's where we're at this point in time.
I think it's fair to say then that you offer a really wide range of services.
We do.
It's literally pages and pages of cool sculpting. I can't even say that word. Mike, I'm going to go through this. Sublative resurfacing. Sublative. Okay.
It's like this is going to be comprehension test.
Here you go. Just bear with us for a second because this is going to be his favorite part of the episode that he's going to clip and what? Kybella injections. Did I get that one right?
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Damn it. Read another one.
Well, hold on. I'm working. Oh, here you go. Here's a whole section that I won't be able to pronounce half of them. Well, psoriasis. I know that word.
Good. You didn't get
keratosis. I can't even pronounce the first word. Actinic.
Molluscum. And actually, whole thing. Molluscum contagiosum. When I tell my patients
that was from Harry Potter. Yeah.
Oh wow.
God bless you.
Yeah.
I know.
That was fine. That was
all right. That was okay. All right.
Approved.
Yeah. So you didn't finish telling us what it actually was, though.
Oh, it's a type of virus that can get into the skin and cause a rash-like eruption.
Eruption.
Yes.
That's not a word those not two words you want to put together. Rashes and eruptions. That's not okay for all of you viewers at home. This might have been the time we should have warned you. I hope there was no turn your radios off. Or
so do you have room for new patients? Is that how that works, or people can just walk in anytime and get a treatment?
Sure. So, like I said earlier, we've got 5 providers. Between myself and a new physician assistant that joined within this last year or so, we really have great availability, both upstairs for cosmetic procedures, downstairs for medical dermatology concerns. So within, I would say, 2 weeks, we've been able to get patients in, which has been amazing because I think when I joined, we had some folks saying it was a few months because we have incredible physicians that have been working here for years that have incredible patient loads and it just keeps coming. The area is growing.
It's growing fast, very fast. Do you want to shout out any of your other team members? Anybody that you want to so they don't feel left out?
Yeah,
including the one that's sitting over in the chair over there that we won't mention.
Yeah. So Dr. Music just got back. He's doing both Mohs surgery and general dermatology.
Wait, pause.
Downstairs.
Yeah,
Dr. Music.
Dr. Music.
Dr.
Yes.
Music.
That's hold on. That was an actual name on here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
Dr. Walker is our additional Mohs surgeon. She's amazing. Dr. Raziano, she's been with us the whole time. She started this practice. Incredible. And then Dr. Kate Moreland is our additional PA between myself and Kate. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great team. And now I'm stuck on Dr. John Music.
He has had to put up with people like you his whole life.
I know. I wish he was here.
He's coming on for sure.
Yeah, we're bringing him back.
Yeah, Dr. Music is amazing.
Okay, so normally we wrap up the episode. We did kind of talk about what are the things that you think are missing. And as you're new to the community,
newish,
we usually ask somebody what's missing and what would you like to see come here? And then secondly, who would you like to challenge to come sit in the seat?
Oh,
so
that's a hard question.
It is.
It's a loaded question.
It is.
It is a loaded question.
Take your time. We'll just sit here in silence until you come up with something.
We get like a.
Sure. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Don't
press.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Hold on. I can find something real quick. Hold on. And then it'll buy you some time. Here we go. Let's. Here's a good one. This might inspire you.
Nope.
You can't hear that.
You can't hear it.
It's the A-Team music. I don't know why he's playing that, but All right. Hey, turn that off. We play too much of that stuff. We got to pay money.
Oh, that's right. We got to pay. We got to.
But yeah, you've been here long enough to know, and enough people, and it can be, doesn't have to be somebody, from the dermatology world,
Sure.
just anyone who might have a story to tell is interesting.
I got one for you. Do you like live music?
Yes.
Do you like to see live music?
Absolutely.
Is there anybody that you would love to see come to Montrose and perform? Do you think would be a good fit to come here?
And to qualify what he's saying though, is the city in 2026 are going to try to bring bigger acts to the amphitheater.
Sure.
So who's the dream? The dream
I listen
concert?
to a lot of like alternative rock kind of stuff.
That sounds great.
Yeah. I got to go to Denver for any of those.
Well, maybe not.
Hot Mulligan. I would love to see come here if you guys
there we go.
know Hot Mulligan.
Nope.
We typing that in. Look it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the new band that I just discovered called the Doohickeys.
Oh.
I want to see the Doohickeys come and play here. They were
Super
amazing.
fun. We reached out to them and they've replied and said they'd love to come here. So we're gonna message Hot Mulligan too.
There's also a really cool band that Rob was working on getting to come here, which is they're south of the border somewhere, but they've kind of got this cool, funky, like EDM / disco / I don't know what to call it. I think it would be amazing to.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You reached out. I don't remember the name of the group.
What good is that?
Well, all right, I'll figure it out and I'll put it in the sections in the descriptions as well. What are you looking at over there?
Hot Mulligan.
Oh yeah, you want to? Why? You want me to pull it up and play some music?
No,
definitely don't do that.
Do it on your own time.
We can't afford to pay them either.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, Brooke, thank you so much for coming.
Sure.
MJ, thank you for coming. You're off. You're off stage. She's giving the thumbs up over there.
Yeah.
We appreciate having the growth in Montrose, and thank you for being here to help service people.
Absolutely.
Especially like my dad's had a lot of skin cancer. It's something that we're worried about, I guess, in my family, and he's over here pressuring me that I haven't gone and gotten a checkup, I guess I should say. So
his wife pressures him at home. I pressure. We tag team him to be a responsible grown up. He knows it's true. That's why he's.
I signed out of that a long time ago. I think so. Like that, somebody gave me a form that said you can sign out of being an adult, and I'm pretty sure I signed it. So, well, thank you so much, Brooke, for being on the show. We appreciate it. And did I give you enough time? Do you want to challenge anybody else to be on the seat?
You guys want Dr. Music here. Dr. John Music can absolutely
sit
get
in the seat.
here.
Yeah.
You guys would love him. He's a great time.
What's his favorite hobbies?
What do you mean?
What? I'm sorry.
Hobbies.
What are you talking about?
I'm just going to see how well she knows her teammates. Do you have to interrupt everything I say?
Stop saying
let her answer the question.
Stop saying silly things.
I didn't say anything silly.
I know he did. What was there's a run where you go over one of the passes. Imogene, a run over Imogene. He did this year, I believe, which is pretty crazy.
Intense.
So he's a long distance runner.
Between, I guess that, I know he does a lot of hiking. I know he's been up Snuffles a couple times.
All right, Rob can introduce him. He's got to go to the Montrose Run Group or whatever you psychos out there are doing, where you're doing 30, 50, 100 miles. I know we've got lots of people that are in your friend group that do that. So
too many of them.
Okay. All right, guys. It's been another episode of WKRP Montrose. Brooke, thanks for being here with us. Go check out the Montrose Dermatology if you've got any issues, or even if you don't, maybe just go get a checkup. You never know. We get a lot of sun out here. 300 plus days, no matter what Rob says, the sun is shining.
And practice what you preach, okay? So go and get a checkup yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.